Again, welcome to Kibogoji. My name is Shivan Fundi. I talk a lot about education and the environment because I have a good background in those two issues. I'm educated in the education field and also educated in the environmental field. So I feel like I have a very good grasp of what is going on in the education system in Tanzania, because I can talk about that. I have experience and I have worked in the industry for a lot of years. So what I see, some of the factors that contribute to the overall low performance in the especially secondary schools education in Tanzania is one, the expansion of schools. The country has invested a lot of money to build so many schools, but at the same time they failed to put enough resources to educate enough teachers to go and fill those schools. So there is a gap between the number of new buildings and enrollment and the quality of teacher that can actually teach those students. So my views is always small is better. So you can start small, and then if you succeed from the small things that you do, then you can replicate those to make them bigger. But you can't start with a huge and massive investment which you don't have an idea if it's going to be successful or not. And if it's not going to be successful, then you know you're going to waste like a lot of money, and a lot of kids are going to be just wasted because they go to school and they end up with division zeros, and their contribution to society is going to be just meaningless. So you spend way too much money that is the return is not going to be there. So why spend that money anyway? Okay, so the best way to do it is to start small. Equip most of the school that you have, and train teachers to be good teachers, like quality teachers, teachers who go to school and spend a lot of time teaching. You can also use like a mentoring system. Have people who work in different industries go to the schools and like help out, because we have a lot of retirees. We have a lot of people who don't have jobs, who are older, and they have a lot of experience. So those people can go to those schools and like spend a day or two. They get a little bit of money, but they talk to the kids, explain to them what they did with their lives, and a lot of that experience can be transferred from the older generation to the younger generation. That's what we need. We just don't need just education in the classroom, but we also need skill transfer, which is very important. The other thing is, like 2-3 years ago, there was a policy change that allowed like students who failed the standard Form 2 exams to proceed with their Form 3 studies and Form 4 studies. And a lot of those kids, they failed the Form 2 exam because they were not ready to move on. So we need to try to keep those kids so they can learn, other than just pushing them along and social promotion to go up the ladder, and then when they get to Form 4, they can perform because they were not ready yet to get there. Other things is if we can try to develop a system that identify kids who are struggling and find resources to help those people to get in level with everybody else in the class. So tutoring programs, like pull out systems that will help, like to give those kids enrichment studies, give them some more time on their materials so they can catch up and stay in the class with everybody else, and then they can move on. So things like that need to be developed, and without doing that, we will continue to see the trends of failure for the longest time to come. Other things that I think are contributing to this is resources, poor resources in schools. Teachers are not paid very well, and they are demoralized, and they don't go to work anymore. They just go there, take a paycheck, and go do some other stuff to pay for their living expenses, because the salary is not a living salary anymore. Okay, so those are the kind of things that we need to look at and try to change to facilitate the upward mobility of our students and help them to achieve better. If they achieve better, the country succeeds. If we do have a lot of kids who can perform, who have skills, then we have a larger pool to use those kids for different reasons and purposes in the economy. I'll stop here today, but I'll continue this conversation some other time. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.